All right, get ready, because today we're going to take a deep dive into the world of content creation.
Ooh, exciting.
I know, right? It's a world where 2 million people globally are making six figures annually.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I know, six figures, just from creating content.
It's definitely inspiring.
For this deep dive, we're going to be looking at this awesome YouTube video by a content creator who's found some serious success.
Sounds good.
They share their 5 steps to success, and by the end of this deep dive,
Hopefully everyone listening will be ready to create some content.
that's the goal. The first thing that really jumped out at me was that stat about 2 million people making bank from content creation.
Yeah, that's a big number.
It really got me thinking, though, what kind of content are they making?
Right. Is it all just gaming videos and makeup tutorials?
Exactly. Or is there, something more to it?
Well, you're right to wonder about that.
Yeah.
And while those niches are definitely popular, successful content creators are out there covering all sorts of topics.
That makes sense.
Think about it. There are people passionate about everything from medieval cooking to beekeeping.
Well, medieval cooking.
I know, right? And they're finding audiences who love that specialized content.
So it's not about following trends. It's about finding your own unique voice and expertise.
Exactly. And that actually leads perfectly into the expert's first step,
Oh, perfect.
which is all about defining your target audience.
Okay, target audience.
They were very clear that knowing your audience before you create anything is critical.
Oh, I can see why that would be important.
It's like building a house without a blueprint, you know?
Yeah, you might end up with something.
But it might not be what you wanted.
Yeah, for sure.
So for someone starting from scratch, figuring out their target audience can be a little daunting.
Yeah, where do you even begin?
Well, the creator had some good advice.
Oh, good.
They said to start with your own interests.
Okay, so what are you passionate about?
Yeah. What gets you excited? What do you know a lot about?
Mm.
Maybe you're amazing at knitting.
Ooh, I wish.
Or maybe you've got, like, this crazy knowledge of 80s music.
I love 80s music.
It could even be something you're just, passionate to learn about.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe you're obsessed with urban gardening and want to document your journey.
I could see that.
The key is to choose something you genuinely enjoy,
Makes sense.
because that passion will come through in your content.
So starting with something you love, that's step one.
It is.
But then how do you know if there's an audience for it?
That's where a little research comes in.
Okay, so you do your research.
You want to see if other creators are making content in that space,
I see.
what kind of engagement they're getting, and if there are any gaps you could fill.
Okay, so you find something that no one else is really doing.
Exactly. Like, let's say you're that 80s music enthusiast, right?
Yeah, I like where this is going.
Maybe there are tons of channels about 80s hits,
Right.
but none that focus on, say, 80s synth pop.
Ooh, good point.
That could be your niche.
I love that. Becoming a specialist. The go-to source for something specific.
Yeah, you're not trying to please everyone, you're finding your tribe.
Speaking of finding your tribe,
Oh, yeah.
the expert's next step was all about choosing the right platform.
The right platform, right?
I've heard a lot about how each platform has its own, personality.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is that something the expert talked about?
Definitely. They made this really interesting comparison between TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like thinking about different types of parties, you know?
Ooh, I like that.
TikTok is like that high-energy party where people are coming and going.
Case.
Yeah, grabbing quick bites and snippets of conversation.
Right.
You've got to capture their attention instantly with something flashy and engaging.
So short and snappy videos.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's TikTok.
But YouTube is more like a sit-down dinner party
Oh, fancy?
where guests are settling in for a longer experience.
I see.
You can take your time, tell a story,
Yeah, get into the details.
Exactly.
I imagine the kind of content you make plays a big role in choosing the right platform.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you choose?
The expert actually recommends starting with YouTube for a few key reasons.
Oh, interesting. Even if short-form videos seem less intimidating.
Yeah, even then. First, it's generally better for monetization.
Okay, so you can actually make money.
You can earn money through ads, sponsorships, and even selling your own products.
Wow, that's a lot of options.
So if you're serious about building a content business,
Yeah.
YouTube is a really solid foundation.
Okay, so that's one reason to start with YouTube.
What else makes it appealing?
Yeah, what else?
Well, the expert really talked about building a deep connection with your viewers through longer content.
Longer content, okay.
It's about establishing yourself as an authority, someone people trust.
Makes sense. And to build that authority, you need to be strategic.
Right.
I remember the expert mentioned something called TubeBuddy.
Yes.
What's that all about? I've heard the name,
Right.
but I don't really know what it does.
So TubeBuddy is kind of like a secret weapon for YouTubers.
A secret weapon. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It helps you understand what people are searching for on YouTube.
Ooh, that's useful.
You can research keywords, optimize your video titles and descriptions,
Okay.
even analyze what your competitors are doing.
So it takes the guesswork out of it.
It does. It helps you get your videos seen by the right people.
That's amazing. I could see why that would be so helpful.
Right.
But creating great content and getting it seen is only part of it.
You're absolutely right. And that leads us to the expert's next crucial step.
Oh, wait. Before we move on,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something the expert said about YouTube being better for monetization.
Okay. Yeah,
That's fascinating, and I'd love to dig into that a bit more.
sure.
What makes YouTube stand out when it comes to making money?
It's a great question and something every aspiring content creator should know.
Definitely.
They have this thing called the YouTube Partner Program,
Right, I've heard of that.
and it lets you earn a share of the revenue from ads on your videos.
So the more views you get.
The more potential earnings.
Okay.
Of course, there's some requirements.
What kind of requirements?
Things like having a certain number of subscribers and watch hours.
I see, so you don't just upload a video and start making money?
Not immediately, no.
Okay.
But once you're in the partner program,
Yeah.
it can be a great way to make money from your content.
So there's a process.
Yes, but especially compared to places like TikTok, where creator funds are way lower.
That's really interesting.
So YouTube offers a more stable path for creators.
And potentially higher earnings.
Exactly.
That's something to keep in mind.
Definitely.
I'm also curious about those other monetization methods the expert mentioned.
Like affiliate marketing and sponsorships.
Yes. What are those all about?
Right, so those are great options as you grow your audience.
Oh, hey.
Affiliate marketing is partnering with brands.
Okay.
Promoting their products in your videos.
I see.
You get a special link, and if someone buys through your link, you get a commission.
Oh, so it's like recommending products you love
Exactly.
and getting a little reward.
Yep. And then sponsorships.
Yeah, what are those like?
Sponsorships are usually when a brand pays you to feature their product in your content.
Makes sense.
This could be anything from a quick mention to a full review.
Wow. So many possibilities.
There really are a lot of ways to make money from your content.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Right. Good point.
let's get back to those steps for success.
Okay, back to the steps.
You were about to tell me about the next one.
Yes. It's all about consistency
Consistency, all right.
and why having an upload schedule is so important.
Okay, an upload schedule.
It's like going to the gym.
Oh, okay.
If you only go once a month,
Yeah.
you're not going to see much progress.
Right.
But if you stick to a regular schedule,
Even if it's just a couple of times a week.
exactly, you'll start seeing real results.
So content creation is the same way.
It really is.
Consistency is key.
It is.
But let's be real. Life gets busy.
Oh,
How do you find that balance between staying consistent and not burning out?
that's where finding a rhythm comes in.
A rhythm, okay?
The expert actually started out uploading daily on YouTube.
Daily. Wow, that's intense.
It is, but they said it's not about starting with a crazy frequency.
Right.
It's about finding what you can actually maintain.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Maybe for you it's 2 videos a week, maybe it's 5.
Yeah, you got to be real.
But you have
because-
to be honest with yourself about what you can handle.
and stick to it.
Exactly.
I think that's such an important point for new creators.
It is.
They might feel pressured to be creating all the time.
Right, but it's about quality over quantity.
Definitely.
And the algorithm actually rewards consistency too.
Oh, how so?
When you upload regularly, it tells YouTube that you're reliable.
Okay, so they'll recommend your videos more.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win.
It is. You're building an audience, and the algorithm is giving you a boost.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got our niche. We're making awesome content on the right platform.
And we're staying consistent.
We're staying consistent. What's next?
Well, now it's time to start thinking about the business side of things.
The business side, all right?
The expert was really big on approaching content creation with a business mindset.
Right, from the start.
Even if your goal isn't to make it your full-time job,
I love that.
it's easy to get caught up in the creative side.
Yeah,
But you're building a brand, whether you realize it or not.
very true. And that's where a monetization strategy comes in.
Exactly. We already talked about the YouTube Partner Program,
Right.
but there are other ways to generate revenue from your content, too.
Like those other methods we were talking about.
Yeah. The expert mentioned affiliate marketing, sponsorships, even creating your own products.
It's incredible how many ways there are to make money these days.
I know, it's amazing.
But with so many options, where do you even begin?
The expert's advice was to start by asking yourself what makes sense for you.
What makes sense for your niche?
For your niche and your audience. Like, if you're creating content about vegan cooking,
Okay, yeah.
affiliate marketing with plant-based food brands could be a good fit.
Makes sense.
It's all about those genuine connections.
So you and your viewers are both happy.
Exactly. And as you grow, you might attract sponsors
Oh, cool.
from brands who align with your values.
And your audience.
Right.
You're not just creating content.
You're building a community, a brand.
And maybe a whole business.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is. And you get to be your own boss.
That's the best part.
Set your own hours. And create content you actually care about.
It's a pretty sweet deal.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We talked about finding your niche, choosing the right platform, the importance of consistency.
And developing a monetization strategy.
That's a lot
It is, but it's all essential stuff.
for anyone who wants to make it in content creation.
Exactly.
And the cool thing is, the expert's video goes even deeper,
It does.
offering tips for specific platforms.
So this is just the beginning.
Speaking of beginnings, I want to put you on the spot for a second.
Okay.
Imagine you're starting your content creation journey today.
All right. I'm starting today.
If you had to pick one platform to focus on first, which one would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And why?
So for me, it would depend on a few things.
What kind of things?
First, what type of content do I like making?
Okay, yeah, that's important.
Am I into short videos like on TikTok?
Right.
Or longer YouTube content?
I see.
Then I'd think about where my audience is.
Where they're hanging out.
Are they on Instagram or more on LinkedIn?
So many options.
And finally, I'd consider my goals.
What am I trying to achieve?
Am I building a brand, growing a business, or just sharing my knowledge?
So many things to
I have
consider.
a one-size-fits-all answer.
It's about finding that perfect match.
Where your content, audience, and goals all come together.
I love that. So it's not about chasing trends.
Nope.
It's about making smart choices that will set you up for success.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up this part, I want to circle back to something the expert said.
Okay.
The idea of thinking like a business from day one.
Oh, right.
What does that look like in practice? Especially for someone just starting out.
That's a great question. And it doesn't mean you need a full business plan right away.
Oh, okay.
It's more about a shift in your thinking.
A mindset shift.
Approaching your content creation with intention.
I see.
For example, instead of just posting videos randomly,
Whenever you feel like it.
yeah, think about creating a content calendar.
Okay, so you plan it out.
Plan out your topics, think about the value you're providing.
And schedule your uploads.
It's like you would with any other project.
Like you're running a business.
Exactly.
So it's about being organized and thinking ahead.
It is.
And that includes things like tracking your analytics,
Right.
understanding your audience engagement, and always looking for ways to improve.
It's all part of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's about taking those small steps early on.
That will help you succeed later.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Try new things.
The beauty of content creation is there's always something new to learn.
I love that. It's all about evolving as a creator.
It really is.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we talked about today.
Sounds good.
We talked about finding your niche and identifying your target audience,
Right. That's step one.
choosing the right platform for your content and your goals,
Super important.
creating high-quality content, and staying consistent with your uploads,
Don't forget consistency.
and approaching content creation with a business mindset right from the start.
Even if you're just starting out.
These are the foundational elements for success in content creation.
They really are.
And remember, the expert's full video goes into even more detail.
So check that out for more info.
It's a great resource for anyone who wants to take their content to the next level.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired.
Me too.
It's amazing to see how content creation has become such a dynamic industry
Yeah, with so many opportunities.
for people to share their passions and build their own businesses.
It's really cool.
So as you embark on your own content creation adventure,
oh, good advice coming.
remember to be authentic,
Be authentic.
be passionate.
And be consistent.
Don't be afraid to experiment and learn and evolve.
Great advice.
And most importantly, have fun.
because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, happy creating.
Bye, everyone. It's like you're going to the gym. If you only go once a month,
Yeah,
you're not going to see any results.
makes sense.
But if you go, a couple of times a week,
All right, you got to be consistent.
you'll start to see some real progress.
So content creation is like that too.
It is. Consistency is key.
It is. But life can get busy. How do you find that sweet spot between staying consistent and not burning yourself out?
That's a good question. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm.
A rhythm. Okay, I like that.
The expert actually said that they started out uploading daily to YouTube.
Daily. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
That's intense.
But they said it's not about starting with something so intense.
Oh, yeah.
It's about what you can actually keep up with over time.
Right. Finding what works for you.
Maybe for you that's 2 videos a week, or maybe it's 5. The important thing is to be honest with yourself.
About what you can handle.
Exactly, and then commit to it.
I think that's really good advice, especially for new creators.
I agree.
Because you might feel like you need to be creating all the time.
Right, but it's about quality over quantity.
Definitely. And you mentioned something interesting earlier
Yeah.
about the algorithm rewarding consistency.
It does. It really does.
So how does that work?
When you upload regularly, it tells YouTube that you're a reliable source of content.
Okay, like you're serious about it.
Exactly, and they're more likely to suggest your videos to other people.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's a win-win. You're building your audience, and the algorithm is helping you out.
That's great. So, okay, we've got our niche. We're creating great content on the right platform. We're being consistent with our uploads.
Sounds like we're on the right track.
What's next? What's the next step?
Well, this is where we start thinking about the business side of things.
The business side. Okay, now it's getting serious.
A little bit, but the expert was very clear about approaching content creation with a business mindset.
Or the beginning.
Yeah, from the start, even if you don't want to make it your full-time job.
I like that. It's like you're setting yourself up for success.
It's easy to get caught up in just making cool content,
Right, but you're building a brand.
whether you realize it or not.
That's true. So that's where a monetization strategy comes in.
Exactly. We already talked about YouTube's partner program.
Right.
But there are a lot of other ways to earn money from content, too.
Like affiliate marketing and sponsorships that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, those are great options.
So how do you choose which one to focus on?
Well, the expert said to think about what makes sense for you and your audience.
Right? Different things work for different people.
For example, let's say you're making videos about, I don't know, vegan cooking.
Okay. Yeah.
Affiliate marketing with plant-based food brands would make sense.
Right. That's a natural fit.
You're recommending products that you actually use.
And that your viewers might be interested in.
Exactly. It's all about being genuine.
And as your audience grows, you might even get sponsorships
Yeah, that's awesome.
from brands that align with your values.
And your audience's interests.
So you're not just creating content, you're building a whole community,
And a brand.
a brand, a business.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is. And you get to be your own boss, set your own hours, make what you want to make.
It's a dream for a lot of people.
Okay, so to recap,
Yeah.
we talked about finding your niche, choosing the right platform, the importance of consistency,
And thinking about the business side.
and developing a monetization strategy. Wow, that's a lot.
It is, but it's important stuff.
Absolutely. For anyone who's serious about content creation,
If you want to succeed, you need to know this stuff.
and luckily, the expert's video goes into even more detail,
It does.
giving specific tips for different platforms.
So definitely check that out.
It's an awesome resource for taking your content to that next level.
It really is.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling super inspired.
Me too.
It's amazing to see how content creation has become such a real industry.
Yeah, and so accessible.
People to share their passions and build their own businesses.
That's really cool.
So as you guys start your content creation journey, remember to
Oh, here comes the good advice.
be authentic.
Be passionate. Be consistent.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things.
And always be learning.
Most importantly, have fun.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, what's the point?
I love that. So true. All right, before we wrap up this episode,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay, I'm ready.
The expert mentioned that 2 million people are making 6-figure incomes from content creation.
Yeah, that's wild.
I know, it's crazy. But it makes me wonder, what do they all have in common?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What is it? Raw talent. Business savvy.
Maybe a bit of both.
Or is it something else entirely?
That's a fascinating question.
I know, right?
I think it's a mix of things, you know?
Okay, like what?
Talent's got to be part of it, for sure.
Right.
But I actually think passion and a deep understanding of your audience are even more important.
Oh, interesting.
It's about making content that really connects with people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Content that gives them something, that makes them feel seen.
I like that, making them feel seen.
It's like that saying, do what you love and the money will follow.
Ooh, that's a classic.
It might be a cliche, but there's some truth to it.
Especially with content creation.
Definitely. When you're truly passionate, it shows.
Yeah, people can tell when you're faking it.
Exactly. And they're drawn to that authenticity.
So it all comes back to building that connection with your audience.
It really does. It's about creating a community.
Shared experience.
Yeah, building trust and engagement.
All right, so to all those aspiring content creators out there,
Get ready for some inspiration.
remember this. Find your passion.
Hone your craft. Connect with your audience.
And who knows, maybe you'll be one of those 2 million success stories.
Yeah, it's possible.
And never stop learning.
Ooh, yes. Good one.
The content world is always changing, so stay curious, keep experimenting.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
This deep dive has been awesome.
I agree.
It's a good reminder that there's always more to learn and explore
And create.
and create, exactly. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into content creation today.
It's been
I
fun.
hope you guys learned a lot and are feeling inspired to start creating your own content.
That's the goal.
Don't forget to check out the expert's full video for even more in-depth info.
It's a great resource.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Yes. Content creation should be enjoyable.
Couldn't agree more. All right, that's it for us.
Until next time.
Happy creating, everyone.